The Glass Castle is a 2017 film directed by Destin Daniel Cretton. It's written by Destin Daniel Cretton, Andrew Lanham, and Martin Oxon, based on the book The Glass Castle by Jeanette Walls. And this is based on the memoir. I'd never heard of it. I haven't read it. I obviously can't compare the memoir to the film. But as a film, I didn't really enjoy it. The performances are brilliant, but the narrative structure is so all over the place. It is so chaotic that I just found we were jumping around far too much. And we go between the past and the present with adult Jeanette and then the story of her life leading up to that point. And in general, I don't have an issue with that type of storytelling, but I feel like the structure was just very poorly handled. And whenever I felt like I was settling into part of the story, we'd jump back and forth, and it just didn't work for me. With regards to the specific of the narrative, there were some interesting moments earlier on in the film, but definitely not later. It's about Jeanette growing up in a very non-conventional family, and they moved around a lot, and her parents, her father in particular, who I'll talk about in a moment, played by Woody Harrelson, definitely a very interesting character. The characters themselves are really fascinating. And the Glass Castle is this house, this dream house that they're going to build one day, and it's going to be their family's beautiful home. And obviously, they keep moving around. The children are in danger often because the parenting styles don't necessarily have the children's best interests at heart. And it definitely is, it seems like it should be about the story because it is a memoir about these eccentric characters living this very, as I said, non-conventional life, and that should be interesting. But to me, it isn't. The specifics generally are not interesting, and then coupled with the fact that the narrative jumps around a lot, and I really didn't care for that narrative style, I didn't really enjoy this at all. As I said, though, the performances are really good. We have a cast including Brie Larson, Naomi Watts, Woody Harrelson, as I said. And absolutely, the performances are really great. No issues there at all. I can't comment on whether the casting feels like it's an accurate casting to the real individuals, but certainly watching it, judging it purely with the characters in the film on their own, I enjoyed the characters. I liked the performances, but the narrative was both boring and a little too chaotic for my liking. Do I recommend it? Well, it's difficult. I didn't care for it at all. But if you've read The Glass Castle and enjoyed it, I'd say give it a go, see what it's like. It's got 7.1 out of 10 on IMDb. And I always say, make up your own mind. Don't listen to IMDb scores. However, when I'm saying I don't like it, but it seems like a lot of people do, then maybe it's worth watching. But personally, I didn't care for it. The Glass Castle is not an interesting narrative to me. The performances are really good, however, so it's not terrible, but I definitely wouldn't be watching it again.